Versatile sheet pan eggs coming up. Hey, Chef Dad's coming at you from my kitchen again, and we're gonna make sheet pan eggs. I'm gonna show you what that's all about. And it is the most versatile thing you can make with good old BC eggs in your kitchen to help you with your budget, to just have something different on a brunch menu, whatever you want to do. Let me explain. Let's get started by greasing the pan first. Okay, so just a little bit of baking spray, and we're just going to take a toaster oven pan. So there's recipes you can find online where they do sheet pan eggs, where they do like a whole jelly roll pan, like a cookie sheet. That's a lot of eggs and a lot of portions. I like to do mine in a toaster oven. This still gives me 6 portions, but it's just easier to manage, and you just don't have as much. All we're gonna take is a 9 by 11 pan. So any 9 by 11 pan like this for your toaster oven will work. I mean, if you haven't got a toaster oven, then you can obviously just put this in your regular oven, but we're just gonna put a little bit of baking spray on there. And then we have some parchment paper, and we're gonna put that on top. And you might think, well, why are we putting the baking spray on there if we're doing parchment paper? That's really gonna help the parchment paper stay in place, okay? And you can press it down and it'll stay pretty much there, a lot better than if you didn't have the baking spray underneath that, okay? And then we're going to spray the parchment paper too. You might be thinking, this is a bit much, but you need this for the eggs to release perfectly, okay? So just a little spray, and make sure you get into the corners. And then we're gonna do our egg mixture. We're gonna just get a mixing bowl and a whisk. And again, there's videos online that will tell you to do it in a blender. A blender is gonna make it too frothy, and it's not going to set properly on the sheet pan. So I like just to use a whisk, and we're gonna do 9 BC eggs. Always remember that every single large BC egg has 14 key nutrients, all 9 essential amino acids, 6 grams of the highest quality, most absorbable protein you can get, and 1 large egg, it's only 80 calories. So we're gonna take these and do all 9 in our mixing bowl. All right. You might think that's a lot of eggs, but imagine if you were doing a whole cookie sheet full of eggs. It'd be a lot more, obviously. To those eggs, we're going to add 3 tablespoons of milk, 1.5 teaspoons of salt, and a 3/4 teaspoon of black pepper. And we're just gonna whisk that together. You want a good homogenized mixture, okay? I like to do it in a mixing bowl with a spout too, so you can easily pour it into the pan. Remember, we're not looking to make these frothy, okay? We just wanna have them fully combined. All right, so I have my toaster oven preheated at 375 degrees. I'm going to take these eggs, pour in a prepared pan. Now at this point here, if you wanted to get creative and put in some chopped, thinly sliced bell pepper, mushrooms, maybe a little bit of onion, you can do that. I wouldn't go more than a 1/2 cup measurement total for any bits that you're gonna put on there. Otherwise, it's going to inhibit the eggs from staying together in a nice square when you cut it. However, I am gonna put some cheese on top, and you should do that regardless whether you're putting in your extra ingredients or not. So I have a 1/2 cup of grated cheddar. I'm just gonna put that on the top of the eggs. That's gonna help it have a nice appearance and flavor. And then I like to do a little bit of smoked paprika, just sprinkled on top. Again, for appearance and for flavor. So there's no real recipe for this. It's just basically a really great egg tip. As long as you're matching 9 eggs to a 9 by 11 inch pan, you're gonna be fine. So we're gonna take this carefully to our toaster oven and put that in there. And I'm gonna set a timer for 12 to 15 minutes. You're looking for the eggs to be completely set so they're not jiggly anymore. You can also take the internal temperature of the eggs, and you wanna have them at least 160 degrees Fahrenheit. All right, there's our timer. Let's check out these sheet pan eggs. Oh yeah, look at these. Awesome. So they'll puff up a little bit, that's totally fine. It's amazing presentation, it really is. So what I normally do is I cut this into 6, so I'll cut it in half lengthwise and then make 2 more cuts like that, so I'll have 6 portions. So a single portion is 1.5 eggs. And again, feel free to customize this as much as you want. This is a really great brunch item, but I like to use them in a different application, which I'm going to show you in a sec here. But let's just cut these first, okay? So there's the center cut. So I just eyeball it, I just make a little indentation to see if that's level to make my 2 cuts to make my 6 portions. And you can see that they're perfectly set. So when you take them out of the oven, just touch them a little bit like that. You can shake the pan, you'll see that they don't move, right? And they're perfect. And like I said, you can take an internal read thermometer, and as long as it's reading 160 Fahrenheit, you're good. So then you just get in there with a spatula and you pull out a portion. Now by spraying the pan and spraying the parchment, they come out so easy. Look, there's nothing stuck there whatsoever. And here's what I like to do. I like to put it on a sandwich. The price of groceries nowadays and the price of meat is extreme. So I like to get my protein from a very healthy source like BC eggs and substitute meats in a sandwich with eggs. It doesn't have to be a breakfast sandwich. You more than likely have a protein in a sandwich. This is just replacing whatever protein you're using by using BC eggs instead. And then you just take that, combine it together with some nice lettuce and tomatoes, just like you would make a normal sandwich. And that looks amazing. That is so good. So I hope you like this idea of sheet pan eggs, and I really hope that you try it in a sandwich because you will never look back. Make sure you're checking out bcegg.com for a bunch of other great tips, recipes, and tricks. And this is Chef Des signing out. Where are you getting your protein from?